I think it's high time I did something a little bit different, something a little bit more esoteric. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. You're with Chris, and today I'm super excited to be sharing something a little bit different with you today. I'm going to be doing a new segment which I'll be doing every now and then, where I will be reviewing tarot decks, which is something a little bit different for a change, and I thought it's going to be very interesting. I've had a little bit of experience with tarot over the years, more so for self-readings and things like that, and I've recently begun to collect some tarot decks, and I thought they're so nice, and some of them are brilliant enough to share on camera on the channel, so I'm going to do just that. And basically I'll be doing a flip through and showing you every card and giving you my thoughts and impressions on what I think about the set overall and the individual elements that make up the tarot deck as well. So yeah, this is going to be fun. So without further ado, guys, let's check this out. And I'm doing this with my special overhead filming rig that I bought recently, just to make it a little bit easier to show you all these cards. Let's take it away. All right, so the deck we're going to be looking at today is called Titanic Risen Spirits, which is a very nice deck from the outset. The box is pretty plain, nothing overly special about that. So what we're going to do now is open the box and take a look at this deck. Okay. So let's go through some first impressions, okay? So let's have a look here. So we're going to be talking a fair bit about thematics here, okay? So from what we can see on the back of the card, we've actually got, I think, what the two circles here represent is the grand staircase in the main foyer or what have you. It's got the white star-lined flag right in the middle here, and we've got the ship's anchors, and we've got some filigrees around the edges, which is reminiscent of the 1910s, which was had a lot to do with the architecture back then. So pretty nice. Now, the other thing that stands out with these as well is the size. They are a proper tarot card size. I've seen some tarot cards with the same size as playing cards, which aren't as nice. I like to actually have a nice full card in my hand. So these are very, very nice and tactile, and love the size of them. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is going through each section of the deck. So obviously, for those who don't know, the deck is divided up into two arcanas. We first have the minor arcana, which deal with all aspects of mundane life, where you know, everything is covered there. And then we have the more spiritual section, which is called the major arcana, which is essentially the soul's journey. Okay, so we're going to go through different sections. Now, the minor arcana are divided up into four themes. We have Pentacles, Cups, Wands, and Swords. And I'm going to go through each section. And without further ado, let's take a look at these. Okay, so the first suit we are looking at is the Swords suit. Now, straight off the bat, the thing I like best about these cards is a lot of tarot cards come with borders. I prefer no borders because it gives more room for the artwork to shine, in my opinion. Now, the first impression I get from this card, obviously, I like the fact that this sword is actually washed up on the rocks from the Titanic. It gives that overall theme of new beginnings, which all ace cards are, okay? And swords deal with mentality and intellect and adversity. Okay, so the color scheme of the card, you're not going to see any vibrant colors with this deck, okay, because the theme is meant to be cold, because the Arctic, where the Titanic sank, is very cold. So not a bad first card. Okay, then we have the Two of Swords, which is a classic symbology here with the blindfolded woman with the two swords. And you can see the color palette is quite dark and Arctic. which is very appropriate for the theme. And now we have the Three of Swords, which is a very, very obvious card here. Normally, it's depicted in normal decks with a red heart with three swords through it. But I like the fact that it's actually an iceberg where the swords are piercing it, in and around the water, which is nice. I like how the font down the bottom saying the Three of Swords is not intrusive. It's very subtle. And we have the numbered card up the top, which is nice. And then we have the Three of Swords, which again is classic symbology that you find in most tarot decks. We have the Five of Swords here, Six of Swords, the Seven of Swords, which it stays very faithful to standard symbology of most tarot decks. The Eight of Swords, which is also very appropriate as well for this deck. And we have the Nine of Swords. The Ten of Swords, which this is a nice spin on it. Obviously, someone is face down with all the swords in the back along one of the deck holes. And the symbology is very consistent with a lot of tarot decks. And then we move into the Page of Swords, which is depicted by the stewards of the ship. And then we have the Knight of Swords, which is a man of high standing here. So he's slightly higher in the pecking order of things. And then we have the Queen of Swords, which she's looking pretty regal there, as she should be, with the sword symbol in the background. And then, of course, we have the King of Swords, which is represented by a captain or soldier there, which is quite nice. And then we move into the next suit, which of course is Wands, which is to do with creative fire and energy and things like that. So again, we've got a wand washed up on the shore to symbolize new beginnings. Okay. And then we have the Two of Wands here. So you can already see the palette. It's actually quite dark, nothing vibrant here. The Three of Wands, Four of Wands, the Five of Wands, which is all about conflict. And we have the Six of Wands, Seven of Wands, Eight of Wands, which is a very dark card there, a lifeboat full of survivors. We have the Nine of Wands, Ten of Wands, and then, of course, again, another ship steward here, represented by the Page of Wands, Knight of Wands, one of the musicians, the Queen of Wands. Interesting how we don't have her looking so regal. We have a maid or a hostess depicted here. And we have the King of Wands finally. All right, moving into the next suit, which is the coins, which represent anything and everything monetary or material. Okay, so we have the Ace of Coins. Obviously, a coin is washed up in the shallows on the shore, symbolizing new beginnings again. And we have the Two of Coins. He's literally, this is interesting because the Two of Coins is represented with two pentacles juggling or weighing up options in someone's hands. And this one, he is literally juggling coins to make very important financial decisions, or could be work decisions too. Okay, and we've got the Three of Coins, which is all about advancing yourself. It could mean something of an apprenticeship or achieving a degree, something of that nature, or being held in high esteem by your superiors. It could be a work promotion, that sort of thing. And we have the Four of Coins here, Five of Coins, Six of Coins. The artwork's actually quite nice despite the lack of a vibrant palette. Seven of Coins, Eight of Coins, Nine of Coins, 10 of Coins, and then here we are with another steward represented by the Page of Coins. Higher up in elevation or social standing for the Knight of Coins. And then we've got someone looking regal here as the Queen of Coins. Interestingly, obviously, it's labelled as a Queen of Coins, but you don't see any symbology of a pentacle or a coin anywhere in the picture, which is a little bit different. Okay, and we have the King of Coins. We have someone who is at the pinnacle of wealth. As you can see, he's got the hotel in the background, which might look like the Plaza Hotel in the 1910s. Who knows? But obviously looks like he's from New York, very high in the social pecking order. All right, now we come to the final suit of the minor arcana. Ace of Cups. A goblet is washed up on the shore again, symbolizing new beginnings. Okay, and here we have the Two of Cups. The cups represent emotions and feelings mainly. Okay, so we've got Three of Cups. The Four of Cups. That's a pretty depressing card, isn't it? Five of Cups. The Six of Cups. The Seven of Cups, which is it's got the classic symbology there with all the elements coming out of the goblets with someone facing away from the camera. Eight of Cups. Nine of Cups. 10 of Cups, which is interesting. Instead of cups, we have 10 seagulls there instead, which is a little bit interesting. And again, another steward represented by the Page of Cups. The Knight of Cups, a regal Queen of Cups, and we have the King of Cups. All right. So that is it for the minor arcana, which, as I said, deals with everything mundane and material. Now we get into the deeper stuff, which is the major arcana, which is the spirit's journey, essentially. Now, this is all the deep stuff that comes out in what is what's happening below the subconscious and things that are hidden that are hidden well under the surface. Okay, so we start off with the soul's journey as the Fool, which is the first undertaking of a major journey of the soul. Okay, and then we have the Magician. Okay, who was master of all his elements, and he's got 3-card Monty there, which is a little bit interesting. And we have the Seer. We have the Empress. We have the Emperor, which we've got some classic symbology there with the globe and the ram's head. Titanic picture in the background is quite cool, quite a nice card. We have the Hierophant. Now, coming to this one, we have the Lovers, which is classic symbology, but they don't look too happy in this one. And I was very surprised to learn that I actually got 2 Lovers cards in this deck. And actually we have them having a bit of a smooch there as well. So that's very interesting. I don't know why I've got a second Lovers card. That's very, very interesting. I wonder if it was a misprint, or is it meant to be there? I don't know, but I've never seen anything like that in a deck before. Okay, and we have the Chariot, the Strength card. Now, I'm going to give particular attention to this card because it's very, very interesting. Normally, the Strength card is represented by a woman with a full-grown lion. Okay, now this one is a little bit different. We've got some survivors in a lifeboat, and we have the child there holding a toy lion, a stuffed lion. I think that's a very, very interesting concept with this card. It goes a little bit non-traditional, so the symbology is a little bit different, and I like that because he's clutching the stuffed lion to gather his strength. Now, it's obviously a little boy who is channeling that strength from the lion, and I just feel that's very, very interesting and a really, really different take on the classic symbology, and I really like that. We have my favorite card in the major arcana is the Hermit. I love this card. This one is okay, but it has the classic symbology there of the lantern symbolizing illumination into looking within to your higher self, because your higher self is pretty wise. And if you look deep enough and spend enough time contemplating alone, you can certainly find answers there. But in most tarot decks, the Hermit is my favorite card. And we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is indicated by the ship's wheel. We have Justice. Now, this is interesting because traditionally, the Justice has the lady blindfolded with the scales. And she's got 2 children in tow, which is a little bit different there. So it's gone with a different direction with that one. Not sure how I feel about that one. If I was doing a reading for myself with this one, it would be a little bit confusing. We have the Hanged Man as well. He's hanging out of a lifeboat with his ankle tied up with rope, which is a little bit different. And it is all thematic with the theme of Titanic. And we have the Death card here, which is a very, very underestimated card, a card that gets a lot of judgment where people take it as a literal meaning, but it's not the case. In some rare cases, it might denote a passing of a family member or something like that, but in most cases, it denotes the start of something new. So with death, there is rebirth and all that sort of thing. Okay, we have Temperance. We have the Devil, which is about all things materialistic. And this is interesting. We have the Tower, and Tower is all about destruction and chaos in our lives and things like that. It could mean moving, it could be a sudden move, and just chaotic chaos and stress. And this one has got the Tower represented as the Titanic bobbing upright in the water, which is very, very interesting. And we have the Star, which has the classic symbolism there. Again, with classic symbolism, we have the Moon with the two wolves and the Moon in the background. And we have the Sun, which traditionally in a lot of decks is represented by a very, very happy and vibrant card. This one, it looks okay, but still doesn't look like a happy card, which is a little bit depressing. Okay, and then we have the Judgment card, which is a completely different spin in its symbology here, which I don't know how I feel about that. Normally you have a Judgment represented by the Archangel Gabriel with his trumpet. So I'm not quite sure what to think of that one. And of course we have the World as the final card. Now, it's gone against tradition. It doesn't have a globe of the world featured there. But yeah, it's very, very interesting. But now you can get an overall sense of the theme of the deck, where it's faithful for the Titanic theme. The colour palette is, dare I say, bland, but for very good reason, because with the Titanic, as I said, the Arctic Ocean, when it sank, was very, very cold. So the deck has tried to be faithful to that theme of a mild colour palette. So it's very dark and it gives you an eerie kind of depressing feel, if I can say that. But, you know, I'm quite happy with the deck. It's actually very nice. It's very tactile. The card quality is very, very good. The card stock is very, very strong. And it's got a bit of give. But the best thing I like about it is no borders. And yeah, a very nice deck overall. So there you go, guys. That is it for my very first tarot deck review and flip through. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it gives you a little bit of insight as to what I think of tarot cards in general and my overall impressions. I had a blast doing that. It was a lot of fun, where I could just show the cards one at a time and give my thoughts and impressions. And as I said, I'll do this segment every now and then. It won't be saturated on the channel. It'll be a treat every now and then. So thank you very much for watching. If you like and subscribe, I'll keep promising to deliver the best content I can. If you've got any feedback in the comments below, please share them with me. Let me know what you think of this particular deck, and I'd be happy to chat with you about that. But until the next video, guys, happy reading.